it's not about how much knowledge you have. It's the ability to communicate in the most effective way with your people who you're working with, for example, your team members, your boss, your peers, and your stakeholders, right? Hi there, my name is Amir Nair, and thank you for joining into this video, right? Some of you have asked me a question as to how I'm able to communicate well. And so honestly, I have to first thank my father for that, right? Because he has actually helped me to read a lot. He's actually bought me a lot of books when I was, he himself actually was as had studied in a Malayalam medium school, right? And after he moved to Kolkata and went to college, he started speaking English with his friends in the college days, and he actually learned it from his classmates, right? But he was a voracious reader, and I remember in my childhood days, he used to get me these individual comics like Phantom, Mandrake, Flash Gordon, and I used to read all of these things, and I absolutely fell in love with my books, right? My uncle was also quite an inspiration because he's a world-renowned painter, and he used to travel at that time to places like Japan and Far East, and used to bring back these books as gifts whenever he used to travel to these places. And so I absolutely loved picking up reading books, right? So that's for starting. But my speaking ability actually came because of in my environment, right? So my family is a diverse family. My mother is a Bengali, my father is a Malayali, obviously. Now and the default language was somehow English at home when I was having conversations with my father or my sister, right? And it would default to Bengali when I would converse with my mother. So it was like a mixed thing. They sometimes speak in English, sometimes you speak Bengali, keep switching over, right? So all of that actually helped me to become a better communicator, right? So that environment actually helped me. But having said that, I'm actually an introverted person. So a lot of my actual speaking capabilities that I have today has to do with a lot of practice and about consistency about doing it and a lot of practice, yeah. So, so what I've done also is I actually picked up a few hacks over the years, and I've kind of used it, to build my communication, improve my own communication skill as I went along my last 22 years, right? And where I am today because of some of those. I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to share some of them with all of you guys. The first one is actually to, what I have done is to kind of make a list of topics that I really am passionate about, right? So if you're really passionate about something, you go about speaking on it on, right? It's actually like speaking to your friend or a family member that you kind of you're close with. So it just becomes something that you want to speak about, you're passionate about it, and as a result you speak about it. And the only thing you have to keep focus on is on speaking in the English language, right? So that actually helps you to improve your communication shift. The second thing that I do is I listen to a lot of these people, Simon Sinek, Marshall Goldsmith, Swami Vivekananda's speeches, and these all inspire me. And when I listen to them, I'm hearing the points, but more than that, I'm actually looking at how they say the things, right? How they put those things forward, right? And for me, it's about picking up those themes, picking up those the styles of communication, studying actually what they're doing, what their gestures are, what their body language is, how their eye contacts are. And of course, in recent times, it's also very important now. It's become extremely important to speak into the camera, to look at the camera and speak, right? So I kind of get inspired by these, and I'm actually looking for the kind of expressions they use, and I study the patterns that they kind of talk about and express themselves. And I started what I started to do is I model after them. And I actually learned this from someone like I've heard about this about Shah Rukh Khan. He kind of did this and picked up his style of acting like that. Number 3 is a tough one, right? Because I have found this very recently. And I've learned to do this over the last 2 years. But I can guarantee you one simple thing is that if you can do this, you can become a really good speaker, right? And it dramatically improves your speaking capabilities. Record one video every day, even if it is for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, doesn't matter. Do it for the next 90 days consistently, every day. Don't worry about the equipments and all of that stuff. Just pick up your camera, put it on a stand, and just record for 2 minutes in English, right? You will see the kind of improvement and the drastic improvement that you get to have on your own communication. Share with someone if you think you want some feedback, or even if you don't, it does not really matter, right? I can tell you it will not matter. The moment you see it, you know what to improve, and you will improve on your communication style and delivery and speech. Yeah, that is something you will do. Number 4 is don't worry about being perfect. I know there's a lot of us have this perfection syndrome, right? I want to make it perfect. Now, perfection will come over a period in time, right? If you keep doing it, it's a matter of time. Every one of us making mistakes. Even I am making a lot of mistakes, but that is okay, because what I'm trying to do as a communicator is that I want to get my point across to you, right? You need to understand what I'm saying, right? That is more important. So the perfection comes when you actually are, in someone who's got a belief system that you don't want to be seen anything less in other people's eye, right? So if you have that belief system, I think you need to work on your belief systems first, right? Because that's hindering your progress, right? Now, the fifth one, right, is to understand some of these communication frameworks, right? There are, even if this video, if you think about it, what I actually did was I opened it, I then introduced myself, and then I started talking about the hacks, right? And there will be a few steps that you will notice, right, as I go through. Now, there are many frameworks, and so if you are in my community, right, so I do a fortnightly class on this, master class on this, where I teach all these frameworks on how to open up these frameworks. You look at it and see what happens in each one of them. And you can also look this up. There are many such frameworks out there in the internet, and you can look it up. But in my community, what I do is not just give you what to do, but actually make you practice it and actually go through it, right? So if you're interested, look up on my next webinar, my masterclass that is there, and below there's a link there, and you can join in there. And there I will talk about, I'll open up, I actually talk about career acceleration, but communication is such a fundamentally important part of that career journey. That's something that I kind of talk about. So if you are interested, do sign up and do look it up and join in for my masterclass, right? The other one that I want to talk about is look at some of these mentors that you have, right? So you can find yourself a mentor, someone who really communicates well. Once you find someone, look for how they are communicating. Look at the way they say things. Watch for, you can also do this, if you don't have a mentor with you immediately, you can actually look at some of the great speeches, right? And watch them and see how they speak. You can embody their style. But I think it's a great idea to have a mentor, because then it's live and you can see it in action, right? How they face situation to situation. The next hack is actually, it's about your vocabulary. Now, a lot of us actually think vocabulary means bombastic words. It is not about bombastic words. Vocabulary, you need to improve your vocabulary. Look for simple and easy to understand words that you can use on a day-to-day basis in your day-to-day communication. So that way what will happen is that if you pick up 2-3 words on a regular basis, right, it will start increasing your vocabulary. And also it will keep things simple, so you're not having to struggle to remember what's that word, right? So that, I think that's something that you should actually pay a lot of attention to. And the last one, this is, a lot of us at times you could feel nervous about communication. And if you are feeling that, my ask of you would be to look at it as a service. Don't worry about, don't think about it like you are trying to prove yourself how good a speaker you are. Think about what is the value that you're trying to provide for the person. So if you are able to provide value, if you're able to provide a service, then the job is done, right, from a communication point of view. So let me kind of pick up what are some of the key themes that I talked about. Pick up patterns from the fluent communicators. Do that, right? It's important that you pick up those patterns and enumerate it. Record one video per day for the next 90 days. Just keep doing the small videos, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, doesn't matter. Look at those videos and you will see what kind of difference it makes. Don't worry about perfection. As you do more and more on a day-to-day basis, your perfection will come, right? You will start enjoying it. Look at the frameworks. Understand when they speak, how do these mentors or these people actually speak? How do they break it down? Important for you to understand the framework. Improve your vocabulary. It's important that you kind of look up words, find words. When someone says something, pick it up, use that, right? And lastly, if you are conscious about yourself, don't worry. Think about service. You're doing the communication for a particular purpose, so that should take care of it, right? Okay, so all of you guys, I want to kind of quickly invite you to my next masterclass. If you want to learn how to take a knowledge and how you want to accelerate your career, right? How you can improve and take your career from your corporate career from where you are to the next place. If my link is there down below. It's a 90-minute class that I do where I break down a framework and actually talk to you about how each of those secrets, there are 3 secrets I will cover, but all those 3 secrets will help you to kind of take your career from where you are to where you would like to be in the next 120 days, right? So I hope you have found this video useful, and I request 2 things from you. Number 1, if you have not done it, of course, give a click on the like symbol and subscribe to my channel so that you can get some of these videos as I kind of put them up. The second one is, if you're not and you're watching it on Facebook, then track a friend or a family member that needs to, that needs some help in around communication, and they could do well with picking up a few traits from you. Share this video and ensure that you can help them and make a difference to them, right? So all the very best, take care, and have a fantastic day ahead. Thank you so much.